Welcome to Bakes on Things Daily. Tonight, we have a very special episode for Canada's boomers and seniors. To every Canadian senior who is watching this video right now, I want to speak to you not with anger, not with judgment, but with gratitude and concern. You've worked very hard in your life. You've raised families. I come from one of them. You've paid taxes, fought for your country, sometimes literally. You built the Canada that we know and love today. And right now, you have the power to protect it again. But here's the truth: the Canada that you helped to build is truthfully slipping away. And it's what we need to address in this episode so that you can fully understand where your younger generations are leaning conservative and why. Many seniors that I speak to are leaning liberal. And I understand why. You know, your homes have tripled in value since you bought them in the 70s or 80s, probably for $40,000 in some cases. Your fixed investments have been doing a little better with higher interest rates lately, right? A guy like Mark Carney, he's calm, clean cut, banker type. Makes you feel like someone's got their hands on the wheel. He's the guy you dropped your taxes off to for years and he just got them done. But here's the problem. While liberal policy made your balance sheet look better, it's left your kids and now your grandkids drowning. They're locked out of home ownership. They can't afford groceries. They're burdened with taxes and absolutely crushing debt. They're watching their country fall behind. And this comes from a decade of liberal damage for everyone but you. See, liberal policies over the past 10 years haven't been kind to working Canadians. They've inflated housing beyond anyone's reach, crushed small businesses, gutted our energy sector, ballooned national debt to 1.2 trillion. And now we're facing American tariffs, as you know, rising prices and instability, and we are not ready for it. Why? Because liberal leadership made us weak. We became dependent on other countries, in particular the United States, not resilient. We ignored our own natural resources. We taxed our industries into stagnation. We printed money and handed it out like candy. And now we're paying for it, in particular your kids and grandkids. Donald Trump is not the problem. Liberal weakness is the problem. See, here's the truth about Donald Trump and Canadian sovereignty that the liberals don't want you to hear. And I know many seniors are scared of what Trump might do if he's back in, or when he now that he's back in the White House, especially with tariffs, trade threats, a more aggressive America. I mean, listen to the guy. And that fear is fine, but here's what no one else is telling you. We're only this vulnerable to Donald Trump because liberal policy made us this weak. If we had our pipelines, if we had strong industry, if we could stand on our own energy, our own agriculture, our own economy, we'd be negotiating with Donald Trump from a position of strength, not begging for a seat at the negotiating table over and over again. Oddly enough, that's what Pierre Poilievre understands. And it's what he's been fighting for all along. See, Poilievre is not Trump. The liberals want you to believe he is, but he's actually the fix to liberal failure, and they know it. So let me be clear here. Pierre Poilievre is not Donald Trump. He's not MAGA, Maple MAGA, whatever you want to call him. He's not even angry. He's not dangerous. Could he do a little less name calling of Carney, carbon tax Carney? Of course. But he's a family man, a truth teller, and a fighter for economic common sense. And while the liberals were handing your grandkids grocery rebates while blocking new farms, Pierre was saying, Let's build more homes by getting Ottawa out of the way. Why are they in the way? Let's use our natural resources to our gain to fuel our country, not foreign regimes and dictatorships. Let's cut the carbon tax, not reduce it to zero, cut it. And income tax as well so Canadians can breathe again. Let's make it easier to work, save, and live with dignity. And here's the irony: all the things that would make Canada stronger against Donald Trump's current tariffs, Poilievre has supported for years. The Conservatives have literally been doing this in opposition for a decade. The very policies that would restore our sovereignty and protect our economy, the Conservative Party have had them on the table all along the last 10 years. In a recent episode of this show, I talked about Barbara Ball and the Nepean riding, which is where Mark Carney is running. And he's a global banker tied to Brookfield Asset Management, comfortable in Davos. He won't even repeal Bill C-69, a pipeline killing law that Supreme Court said was unconstitutional. He's said no to East-West Canadian pipelines, but his very own firm just bought a $9 billion US pipeline that runs east-west across America. Now you tell me, whose interests does that serve? Then, competing against him, you've got Barbara Ball, who's a former military officer, a woman who served her country with honor, and who's running to serve her community, not her resume. She's the future Nepean deserves. She's one of the future MPs Canada deserves. And Canadians like her are the future of this country and are what this country needs. So here's what I want to say to you, especially to every senior watching this. You've done well, and congratulations. You've earned your rest. But they haven't had their shot yet. Don't vote based on how comfortable you feel today. Vote for the hope they need, your kids, your grandkids, for tomorrow. If you want your grandkids to afford a home, if you want your kids to keep their jobs and raise their families in dignity, if you want Canada to be respected again and not pitied all around the world, then we need your help. Not with bricks or with bullets, but with your ballot. This is so key. It's one of the most important elections of our time. And we get it. You've done your best for this country. You've worked your hardest for this country. But don't vote for the past. Vote for their future. Vote for Canada. Thanks for watching.